On 72nd home run later that same game, Park last pitched in the majors in 2010 and recorded 124 wins. For It Happened in Baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
The PGA Tour comes to life on SiriusXM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, SiriusXM 92.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Sunday, March the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In MLS, 4 p.m., Austin FC takes on San Diego FC on SiriusXM and Internet Channels 157. In Major League Baseball spring training action, 4 or 5 p.m., Chicago White Sox face the Arizona Diamondbacks on Internet 846. 4 or 5 p.m., Chicago Cubs face the A's. Cubs on SiriusXM Channels 89, Internet 845. A's on Internet 841. 4:10 p.m., Arizona Diamondbacks face the San Diego Padres. Diamondbacks on Internet 840. Padres on Internet 862. 10 p.m., Milwaukee Brewers take on the Colorado Rockies on Internet 856. 4:10 p.m., Seattle Mariners take on the Milwaukee Brewers on Internet 864. 8:10 p.m., LA Dodgers face the LA Angels with the Dodgers on SiriusXM Channels 89, Internet 854. Angels on Internet 853. In the NASCAR Cup Series, at 3:12 p.m., catch full coverage of the Straight Talk Wireless 400 on SiriusXM and Internet Channels 90. In the NBA, 3:30 p.m., Utah Jazz take on the Cleveland Cavaliers, with the Jazz on Internet 908, Cavs on SiriusXM Channels 86, Internet 885. 6 p.m., Portland Trailblazers face the Boston Celtics. Blazers on SiriusXM Channels 86, Internet 904, Celtics on Internet 881. 6 p.m., Atlanta Hawks face the Philadelphia 76ers. Hawks on Sirius 106, XM 212 and Internet 880, 76ers on Internet 902. 6 p.m., Miami Heat face the Charlotte Hornets. Heat on Sirius 119, XM 213 and Internet 895, Hornets on Internet 883. 6 p.m., Toronto Raptors face the San Antonio Spurs. Raptors on Sirius XM Channels 167, Internet 907, Spurs on Internet 906. 7 p.m., Houston Rockets face the Denver Nuggets. Rockets on Sirius 160, XM 214 and Internet 890, Nuggets on Internet 887. 9 p.m., LA Clippers face the Oklahoma City Thunder. Clippers on Sirius XM Channels 86, Internet 892, Thunder on Internet 900. In the NHL, 6 p.m., St. Louis Blues take on the Nashville Predators. Blues on XM 219, Internet 944, Predators on Internet 935. 6 p.m., Florida Panthers face the Pittsburgh Penguins. Panthers on Sirius XM Channels 91, Internet 931, Penguins on Internet 941. 8 p.m., Anaheim Ducks face the Carolina Hurricanes. Ducks on XM 221, Internet 920, Hurricanes on Internet 924. 8 p.m., Vegas Golden Knights face the Tampa Bay Lightning. Knights on XM 220, Internet 949, Lightning on Internet 945. 9 p.m., LA Kings face the Boston Bruins. Kings on Sirius XM Channels 91, Internet 932, Bruins on Internet 921. On the PGA Tour at 1 p.m., catch full coverage of the Valspar Championship on Sirius XM and Internet Channels 92. In NCAA College Baseball, 5 p.m., Missouri faces Ole Miss on XM and Internet 374. In NCAA College Men's Basketball, 3 p.m., SMU takes on Oklahoma State. SMU on XM 380, Internet 970. Oklahoma State on XM 381, Internet 971. 9 p.m., Stanford faces Kent State on XM 380, Internet 970. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Sunday, March the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In MLS, 4 p.m., Austin FC takes on San Diego FC on SiriusXM and Internet Channels 157. In Major League Baseball spring training action, 4 or 5 p.m., Chicago White Sox face the Arizona Diamondbacks on Internet 846. 4 or 5 p.m., Chicago Cubs face the A's. Cubs on SiriusXM Channels 89, Internet 845, A's on Internet 841. 4:10 p.m., Arizona Diamondbacks face the San Diego Padres. Diamondbacks on Internet 840, Padres on Internet 862. 10 p.m., Milwaukee Brewers take on the Colorado Rockies on Internet 856. 4:10 p.m., Seattle Mariners take on the Milwaukee Brewers on Internet 864. 8:10 p.m., LA Dodgers face the LA Angels with the Dodgers on SiriusXM Channels 89, Internet 854, Angels on Internet 853.
SiriusXM has soccer covered end to end. SiriusXM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's SiriusXM FC on channel 150.
40 road trips to find the best fish and chips.
Measure your RAV4's comfort and memories, not just mileage. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2025 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive from $104 weekly for 36 months at 5.69% with $2,500 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
Going on vacation? Spending money in another currency? From
What's up, insiders, basketball fans all over the world? Thank you so much for hanging out with us today during March Madness. Oh man, we're having so much fun. We've got streams going for every single game of the tournament. We're tracking our brackets. It's a lot of fun in the chat. Please chat it up. Hit that like button down below and share this link out. That's going to be the best way to bring more basketball fans here to the chat. And we're already seeing thousands of fans come into the first stream of 16 on Thursday. I'm going to let Joe take it home. We appreciate you being here.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So like, subscribe, and share, because every click impacts SickKids' mission to heal the future.
Forget that. Mojo's smoky, spicy, $4.99. Today's lunch is not the usual.
Hey, I'm already feeling mojo!
Only at Subway. At participating stores. Extras, taxes, and delivery additional. Expires April 13th, 2025.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Back inside Scotiabank Arena, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set for the tip-off between the Spurs and Raptors. Toronto Raptors basketball is brought to you by Tangerine Bank. This is how we fan. Tangerine, official bank of the Toronto Raptors, as it's the Spurs and Raptors on a Sunday evening. And we will get the starting five for the visiting Spurs in just a couple of moments. And, of course, we're going to get Jonesy's keys to victory as the Raptors roll into this ball game 24-46, 5 games behind Miami for that 10 spot in the East. We were talking earlier about the Spurs being only 3 games back for 10th in the West. Let's indeed get the starting five for the visiting San Antonio Spurs.
From North Carolina, a 6'8" forward, number 40, is Harrison Barnes. Out of Florida State, a 6'5" forward, number 24, is Devin Vassell. Out of the Democratic Republic of Congo, a 6'8" center, number 18, Bismack Biyombo. From Yukon, a 6'5" guard, number 5, Stefan Castle. And from Wake Forest, a 6-foot guard, number 3, is Chris Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, the acting head coach of the San Antonio Spurs is Mitch Johnson.
There we go, starting five for the San Antonio Spurs, and I love seeing Bismack Biyombo back in the league. And what a great veteran for this young San Antonio team, and a nice ovation from the Raptor fans that saw Biz for only 1 year, but what an impact he made on that team that went all the way to the conference finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers before bowing out back in 2016. Jonesy, keys to victory brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game in the 2025 CRV Sport.
Well, for the Raptors, first thing, of course, try to find some chemistry. You've got rotating lineup, people in, people out. I mean, the starting lineup looks somewhat familiar tonight, but the biggest thing is trying to find guys to play with that chemistry, play with a togetherness that is sometimes really, really tough to find. Turnovers, Eric, always a key for the Raptors. And the other thing I would look at tonight in a big way is the rebounding. Spurs not a great rebounding team, middle of the pack, but towards the bottom third of the league. If you're Toronto, you might be able to take advantage of that tonight. Get some extra shots, play some good defense, lock it down, one and done style, so you can get out and get some stuff yourself.
Again, the keys to victory brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game in the 2025 CRV Sport. Let's get the starting five for the Raptors.
We the North, born and bred, bringing the saga to the 6. It's time for number 9, RJ the ball to Jamal Shed. From Florida, holding it down at center. We keep it ballin'. Make some noise for Colin Castleton. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the young guy on the front line. This is Ochai Abashi. And at 6'8" from Florida State, make some noise for your boy, Scotty Barnes. Head coach of the Toronto Raptors is Darko Rajakovic.
There you have it, starting 5 for the Toronto Raptors. Barrett, Barnes, Castleton, Abaji, and Jamal Shed. A number of players still sidelined for the Raptors. And tonight, Quickly and Pirtle out with rest. Too bad Yak doesn't have a chance to go up against his former team. I know a lot of people in San Antonio have such great things to say about former Spur Jakob Pirtle. And in fact, speaking of a former Spur, I mentioned Bismack Biyombo back in Toronto now, Jonesy playing for San Antonio. Former Raptor TJ Ford working on the San Antonio television broadcast. We both saw TJ before the game and had a chance to chat with him. Matt Bonner, former Spur, former Raptor, who of course works at Sportsnet. He's wandering around the building. I see, of course, Jamal McGlure, who's always here as a community ambassador for the Raptors. He's wandering around. And also Jerome Williams, the Junkyard Dog in town, who was in town for a charity event in TO with a bunch of other former NBA players and former Raptors. So you look around tonight, there are former Raptors, former Spurs, former NBA players all over the place at Scotiabank Arena.
Well, that's what happens when you're around the league for a while. You kind of establish something. Well, and look at both teams tonight. They got that little gold hash mark with a number on the back at the top of the jersey. San Antonio, well, they got a 4 on theirs. They've won 4 titles. Not too many teams have that little gold mark with the number of titles won, and Toronto's an elite company, so not surprised to see a lot of people around the Raptors and kind of being in with Toronto. Did I say 4?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is it not more than half the league doesn't have a gold?
That's what we're going to go through it.
I'm pretty sure it's close to half the league that does not have that.
We're going to go through it. I'm going to get a pen out and do the tally on the run here by division.
The Raptors lose the opening tip. Spurs start with the ball, but Toronto already digging in defensively on the opening possession. Knocked the ball away from the Spurs. San Antonio forced to inbound from the far side. Shot clock down to 9 as Biyombo has it on the perimeter. Hands it off for an open triple to Castle, who buries it, and the Spurs lead 3-0. Shed brings it up across center for San Antonio. Over to Barnes up top straight away. Trying to go over on the far wing. It's deflected away by San Antonio. Now it's the Raptors' turn to toss it in again with 12 seconds on the shot clock. San Antonio striking first with that triple, 3-0. Shed to do the honors. He gets it in to Castleton out on the perimeter. Castleton over to Barnes, wing near side. Dips behind the Castleton screen, then goes cross court in the far corner over to Ochai, who elevates for the triple, and it was an air ball. Chris Paul jumped out to contest the shot, and the Raptors got nothing but air. San Antonio looking for another bucket on their second touch of the game. On the perimeter, it's Castle. Getting into the painted area, bouncing the pass in the near corner. Another open look for the Spurs. This time it's no good, and the Raptors get on the glass on the miss. Pull-up triple, R.J. Barrett, that one no good. And San Antonio again with the rebound. Vassell missed the triple for the Spurs on this end, and we'll see what San Antonio comes up with on their third touch. Biyombo in the corner to Barnes, the veteran, missing a triple in front of the Raptor bench. Everything on the perimeter for San Antonio thus far. Shed driving far side, gets by everybody, straight to the tin, lays it in. Raptors on the board.
Jamal Shed showing his physicality. I mean, he's a kid, we talk about it. He could be a football player.
Castle above the free throw line, hands off to Biyombo, now on the perimeter to Barnes. Over the shoulder pass back out on the far wing. Gave it up to Castle. Castle now trying to shake free from Shed. Gets into lane. Met by 3 defenders. Barnes gets the block. Ball picked up by Abaji. Down the floor comes Ochai. Got a step on Barnes. Missed the shot. Rebound deflected out onto the perimeter to Shed. Sets the feet. Wide open look. Missed it. Rebound to Biombo. San Antonio cross center. Barnes near side. Castle bumped by Shed. Great job holding us ground. At the baseline, Castle cut off. Kicks it back out on the perimeter. They work it around to Vassell, who missed the triple far sideline. Raptors quickly down the floor. Barrett has it. Lobs it down low in the block to Barnes. Takes advantage of the size and length over Chris Paul to float it in, and the Raptors lead 4-3.
Good job by Scotty. Love to see when Scotty plays big boy ball. Just goes down there and uses his size on people.
Chris Paul out at the logo at center. Over on the wing far side, 1 foot inside the arc to Biombo. Now Biz on the perimeter, guarded by Castleton. Hands back to Chris Paul. Weaves behind. The screen set by Biz. Fakes the pass, elevates for the jumper. It rolls around 2 rims, 3 rims, and then falls down for Chris Paul.
Really soft touch.
And then the Spurs pick up a foul in the backcourt as Castle's getting a little too handsy on Jamal Shed. That's his first foul of the game, with San Antonio leading 5-4 just under 3 minutes into the ballgame. Shed, cross center, gives it to Castleton. Back to Shed, driving down to the right block. Tried to float one up, and it's blocked, knocked away by Castle. Raptors will keep the ball with 15 on the shot clock. 8:56 to go, opening quarter. San Antonio leading 5-4. Raptors in the far corner, inbounding. Shed off the screen, freeing himself was Ochai. Turns and fires and misses on a triple.
Really good execution on the inbound. Ochai coming off the stagger, coming down to the baseline, getting a wide open look.
Castle driving into the painted area, got a step on Shed, elevated for it, and they call Shed for the foul.
See, I don't like that, because in trying to get to the basket, and Shed looked at the bench and they're like, yeah, we know, we feel you, but he stood there with his hands straight up, and in the sweep motion on the gather, Castle went through Shed's hands purposely, as you should do, but that's one of those where I don't like the fact that a guy's rewarded for trying to get a foul rather than trying to make a play or score a basket. But there's there's not much you can do.
Castle at the free throw line. He missed the first, hit the second. 1 of 2 at the stripe. Does put the Spurs up by 2. It's 6-4. 8:35 to go, opening frame. Ochai up top to Castleton, over on the far side to R.J. Barrett. Drives toward the near elbow, then gives it back to Castleton, who missed the shot. Raptors, though, get the rebound, tip it out on the perimeter to R.J. Barrett for a north side 3, and the Raptors lead 7-6.
Getting so much better at the standstill 3 is R.J. Barrett. Catch and shoot. That time off the tip out. Shot ready.
Biombo hands off on the perimeter to Barnes. Harrison Barnes went right, turns left, spins and fires and knocks down the jumper over Scotty Barnes.
Still a real good, productive vet, Harrison Barnes. Great guy for a young team.
Barnes comes back to the Raptors, pulls up for a triple, missed it. Little heat check maybe there for Scotty. And the Raptors scramble back defensively, trailing by 1. It's 8-7 San Antonio. 7:50 to go, opening quarter. Paul on the perimeter to Castle near side. Trying to lob it down low to Barnes, and Barnes blew a tire, fell to the floor. Raptors pick up the loose ball off the San Antonio turnover. Down the floor comes Shed. Great job having his pocket picked by Castle, and it's picked up by Paul. Pull up triple. Chris Paul, no good. Rebound to Scotty Barnes.
Well, the play down there, Jamal Shed actually pulled the chair out on Harrison Barnes, and he was maneuvering for position. This is why he fell to the ground.
And now the Raptors just turned it right back over as Barrett got into the lane and elevated, had his shot blocked and gave it up. Step back, triple, near corner in front of the Raptor bench. Castle missed it. The tip down low, no good for Biz. He gets it back again, though, and kicks up top to Vassell. 3 ball. Good. San Antonio leads 11-7. Timeout Raptors.
Offensive rebounding. Biombo didn't get the tip, came down with it. Toronto couldn't match up. Great time for a 3-point attempt off the offensive rebound.
Again, 11-7 is the score. San Antonio on top with 7:10 to play in the opening quarter. It's Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050wraps.com for your tickets today.
Craving something fresh, fast, and full of flavor? At Barburrito, you can create millions of delicious combinations to match your mood. Build your perfect burrito, bowl, quesadilla, or taco, bursting with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Whether you love it spicy, packed with veggies, or loaded with all the classics, there's a flavor for everyone. Barburrito is proudly Canadian, serving communities coast to coast, right in your neighborhood. Order today in store or on the Barburrito Canada app.
Barburrito, food for every mood.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CR-V Sport here in Alliston, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CR-V Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. First quarter action, 7:10 to play. San Antonio leading 11-7. Both teams struggling out of the gate right now. San Antonio shooting just 4 of 11. The Raptors 3 of 11. Toronto, though, has coughed up 2 turnovers, leading to 3 San Antonio points. And the Spurs out rebounding the Raptors at this point. Now, check that. My eyes are deceiving me. It's actually 7-7, so I take that back. It's even on the glass. I thought it was actually 7-6, but it's 7-7.
Yeah, well, even on the glass, but it's something where on paper the Raptors should have an advantage, and they need to do a better job with that.
Out of the timeout, Raptors making a couple of changes with Jonathan Mobo and Orlando Robinson coming into the game for Colin Castleton and Scotty Barnes. Spurs still sticking with their starting 5 as San Antonio leads by 4. Shed gives it up to Abaji, back to Shed. Shed out on the far wing, sets the feet on the far perimeter, buries the triple, and it cuts the Spurs lead to 1.
Becoming a very reliable shooter is Jamal Shed.
Barnes to Vassell, to Paul, back over to Castle out on the far side, trying to weave through traffic. Then it goes cross-court, left to right to an open Harrison Barnes in front of the Raptor bench. Missed the triple, and Toronto gets on the glass, but at center court, Shed had the ball knocked away by Barnes. It's picked up by Paul to Vassell. Pull-up triple is good, and that was tough with Mobo coming in on a rear contest.
Yeah, Mobo did a good job. Vassell's the guy, though, not afraid to let him rip.
Vassell leads all scorers right now with 6. Far side, driving into the paint. Ochai went chest to chest with Biz, missed the shot, but it's cleaned up by Mobo. His putback no good. Cleaned up by Orlando Robinson, and his shot no good from right under the tin, and the Spurs snagged the rebound.
Well, good job on the glass. Great perseverance by the Raptors, but at some point you got to finish it.
Here's another one for Vassell, this time on the near wing. Missed that one. Good contest by Shed, and the Raptors snagged the rebound.
He's a 36% three-point shooter, and obviously we can see early has the license.
Barrett just had his pocket picked, had the ball taken away. Down the floor, Castle drops it to Vassell. Back to Castle, and the two-hand cram is good. Spurs lead by 6.
Raptors kind of gave up on the play. They shut off the initial 2-on-1, and when it went back to Castle, the defender had left them.
16-10 with 5:23 to go opening quarter. Barrett driving into the painted area. Left-hand scoop under the arm of Bismack Biyombo. Missed the shot. Barrett now 1 for 3 in the ballgame. San Antonio down the floor. Out on the far side, Castle. Straight away now it's Chris Paul directing traffic. 3 ball up, no good on an air ball for the Spurs. Paul hoisted that one from 26 feet late in the shot clock, and the Raptors will get it back with 5:04 to go in the opening frame.
Well, some subs coming in for San Antonio, and they're bringing in a guy who is a very good rebounder in Jeremy Sohan. He's just got a nose for the ball, and he's got some toughness.
Man, Jonesy, I wish you had a little more hair up top, and I'm one to talk. I don't either. I would love to see you rocking the Sohan pink hair. I really would.
Some guys can do that. Some guys can't.
Well,
even if I had the hair, I couldn't rock that.
JR's got more salad than either one of us combined, probably. So maybe we get JR to go a little pink. At least frost the tips a little pink or something. 4:50 to go, opening quarter. 10 seconds on the shot clock, driving to the tin. The layup knocked away for Jamison Battle. Spurs down the floor. Sohan blocked from behind by Orlando Robinson, but they're going to call the foul and send Sohan to the free throw line. So Vassell got the block on one end, and Toronto tried to duplicate it on the other, but couldn't do so.
A lot of body contact. I give Robinson credit for hustling back, but couldn't get the clean block.
Spurs holding the Raptors right now to just 21% to start this game. The Raptors shooting 4 of 19. They already have 4 turnovers as well.
Sohan with a very unique free throw shooting style.
One-handed.
Kind of like the old Anthony Mason, right? The late Anthony Mason, just take it with one hand. Maybe it's something about that number. He's got the hair. Remember the other guy who wore that number in San Antonio that was a good rebounder, had some bad free throw technique too, but...
Dennis Rodman. Both free throws good. You only need one hand to make it, I guess.
Well, don't ask how, just how many.
R.J. Barrett pestered out near center court, and he could not recover. Orlando Robinson ended up trying to get to the ball. They knocked it away from him, and it's a shot clock violation.
Robinson touches his chest. That was a poorly executed dribble handoff as the Spurs blew it up. Now it's a loose ball. It's anybody's ball, and Raptors could never regain control to get a good look at the cup.
18-10, Spurs lead, make it 20. Driving, laying it in was Vassell. And the Spurs have doubled up the Raptors, with Toronto giving up 10 points off 5 turnovers in 8 minutes. And San Antonio is starting to lay it on T.O. in this opening frame.
Turnovers, right? Rebounding, turnovers, and it always is. And some of those turnovers probably due to the first key we talked about, a lack of chemistry and togetherness by the Raptors.
4:08 to go, opening quarter, 20-10. San Antonio leads Toronto on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
I'm Ray Ferraro. I'm a retired NHL player. After 18 years, my knees and feet had just had enough. Day-to-day was filled with some sort of pain. Kintex changed everything. What they've shown me is custom orthotics and the proper footwear provide comfort, confidence, and care in every step. The relief was immediate. Now I'm pain-free and active. Let Kintex join you on your journey to stay active. Check them out at kintec.net.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Welcome back, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. First quarter action, 4:08 to play. San Antonio has opened up a 10-point lead on the Raptors, 20-10.
All right, so here's the on-the-fly research. Really shaking the coconut.
Just over half, right?
Really shaking the coconut. And there's some gray area. I have 19 with championships 11 without. But that counts the St. Louis Hawks, Atlanta, and counts the Seattle Supersonics, OKC. But JR just pulled it up and said OKC does not have a championship, so no patch. So I guess the Seattle stuff doesn't carry over. Why would it carry over with Atlanta? I mean, they still have all their records. So anyway.
So it could be as low as 17, but it could be as high as 19. But either way, a third, at least a third, more than a third of the league has never won a title. And we were referring, of course, to our conversation from earlier talking about the gold patches on the back of both the Spurs and Raptors jerseys as two clubs that have indeed won titles. Orlando Robinson with a soft two-hand dunk as Toronto worked the ball around and found Big O down low. Raptors get it into single digits at 20-10. Vassell at the near elbow, now backs out on the perimeter. Spurs working the ball around, back to Vassell at the far elbow. Hands it off. Driving into the painted area, San Antonio fires into the corner to Sohan for three. And a nice find there from Johnson to Sohan for the open triple. San Antonio by 11, their largest lead.
Somewhere Raptor fans are saying Keldon Johnson was the guy they got in the trade.
And the Raptors.
Kawhi over.
Another turnover for Toronto, and it's another bucket for Sohan, and the Raptors trail by 13.
Sohan got away with the walk there.
Raptors nearly lost the ball again on the perimeter, but it's picked up by Mobo, driving on the baseline far side. Missed a wild runner, but he gets the shot back. Fires back out on the perimeter to Scotty Barnes. Bounce pass, far sideline. Jacoby Walter three ball is good.
Toronto's going to have to start going back doors on the dribble handoffs instead of coming out towards center. They're going to have to turn and go back towards the cup because San Antonio's blowing all of those up.
Spurs in the midst of a 19-8 run. They lead by 10. Open look at a triple is good, and Keldon Johnson buries it.
Scotty closed out to within touch and had his hands in his pockets. Did not raise a hand to contest that shot.
Barnes on the near side, inside the arc, lobs a pass down low underneath, and the pass intended for Mobo hits the backboard, and the Spurs pick it up off yet another Raptor turnover. Sohan misses the shot, but following to guide it back into the tin was Blake Wesley, and the Raptors trail by 15. Barnes down the floor. Faked the pass, got fouled as he kept it himself, went to the tin, and Champagny will take the foul, sending Scotty Barnes to the stripe. But the Raptors right now trailing by 15 in the opening frame.
San Antonio's come out with much more energy right now. Playing harder, better focus. And all I have to do is look at 7 turnovers to the Raptors, giving up 14 points. San Antonio, 1 turnover.
And the Spurs now in the midst of a 24-8 run. After the Raptors had a 7-6 lead. San Antonio on a 24-8 run. From up 1 to down 14 now, as it's a 24-9 run with Scotty Barnes going 1 of 2 at the stripe. Barnes and Walter at center court with the double team on Wesley. They had him pinned almost at the center stripe, and the Spurs very smartly call a timeout to save the ball and the possession. Jonesy, we're going to keep it here with 1:40 to go in the opening quarter, and Toronto trailing by 14. Barnes now with 3 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, but the Raptors just don't really seem to have a lot of flow to their offense right now. We talked about the amount of turnovers, but also when they are getting off shots, 6 of 22, only 27% to start this game.
Got to make shots. It's the great elixir. It's the great cure, great cover-up when things are going bad. And right now, Toronto just doesn't look like they have the requisite energy for an NBA game.
This might be a good time to give a shout-out. I got a shout-out to my wife whose birthday is tomorrow. And I'm smart enough to say don't give the number, but happy birthday to my wife, who will celebrate tomorrow. And another chance to potentially either shout out or quickly talk about. Did you put in a bracket this year or not?
I didn't.
I didn't do a bracket. I only picked.
Daniele Franceschi had the fan thing going. It's like Why am I I could use that money to buy gas or something. Why throw it away on something that's like there's never been like a perfect bracket? Like,
no. And to me, and I don't say this arrogantly, we're in a no-win situation.
No, exactly.
It's like if we do well, it's like you're supposed to do well. You cover basketball. If we do poorly, how come you didn't do better? You guys should know this. So you know what? Forget it. I will say I did pick a championship, though, just for fun. I've got Florida beating Auburn in the final.
I got Houston winning it all. I looked at the bracket and I said, the most consecutive tournaments.
Another Raptor turnover. A two-hand flush for Wesley, and San Antonio has doubled up Toronto 32-16.
Wesley with an epic flop. An epic dive, like the one you sent me on Instagram the other day, Eric, with the two 15-year-olds learning how to flop. I mean, Orlando Robinson leaned in, and there was a little push to get free. This is the NBA. This is not...
And that's off the inbound play, Jonesy.
Yeah.
So San Antonio got the bucket, and now they're getting the ball back again.
This is not like the OFSA single-A championship in Timmins or something like that. Come on.
Shout out Timmins. A lot of floppers in Timmins, Jonesy?
No, I was picking a small town, that's all.
32-16.
I could pick the one that...
Oh, what a play by the Spurs, working that ball around. They look like the Globetrotters out there, and it frees Vassell for another bucket.
I was in Brandon on the weekend for the U Sports Championship, and I saw signs for Kenora, and I think of places like Kenora, Kapuskasing, or as one of our American friends called it, Kapuskaping.
Jacoby Walter just got his shot blocked twice by Sohan down low. Spurs come back the other way, and they get a layup from Wesley. And quite frankly, folks, San Antonio is just picking apart Toronto right now.
Darko can call all the timeouts he wants. Unless they get out there and decide they're going to play, it's not going to matter.
36-16, Raptors trailing by 20. Barnes in the near corner to Mobo, and it's taken away yet again by the Spurs. 10 turnovers by the Raptors in the opening quarter. They have already given up 18 points off turnovers. This is unreal.
I'm going to put that into perspective for you in a second here, Eric.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Shot clock down to 5. Baseline. San Antonio. Wesley goes up top to Sohan. Misses the triple. It deflects into the far corner. It'll be Raptor ball with 1.6 seconds remaining.
They normally give up 24 in a game, points off turnovers. And that's near the bottom of the league itself. Ouch.
36-16 San Antonio at the end of the opening quarter, with the Spurs shooting 52%, the Raptors at 25%. And again, Toronto coughing up 10 turnovers to the Spurs 1, and points off turnovers 18 zip.
Crazy.
We'll step aside for the break. Second quarter action comes next on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CRV Sport here in Allison, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CRV Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Raptors trailing 36-16 at the end of one. And a lot of work to be done here, to say the least, as we get set to start the second quarter, Jonesy.
Yeah, lots of work. First order of business is looking after the basketball, making sure that you're not giving away easy points, because that has been the first order killer of business for Toronto.
Jamal Shed brings it up across center for the Raptors. Toronto starting with the ball in the second frame. See if they can chip away here in the second quarter. Barrett over to Abaji. Far corner to Barnes. Barnes holding the ball. Bounce pass to Castleton below the far elbow. Castleton back out on the perimeter to Shed. Fake the pass, drives into the paint, stops on a dime, floats it up, and it's good to go on a one-hand shot for Shed.
That's his signature shot, the jump stop and the little push floater. Great balance when he does that, and he gets it up there. If it doesn't go in cleanly, usually soft up on the rim, and he gets the roll.
Castle across center for the Spurs. Ball knocked away, and as the ball was deflecting toward the sideline, a late whistle comes in called against R.J. Barrett. I'll let you argue with Kevin Cutler.
Well, yeah, I know. He's like 6'8", played college ball, but
I think his shoulders are wider than my entire body.
I would argue that the bump is not what caused him to lose the ball.
Agreed.
Castle played through the bump, and then when he lost the ball, he flopped.
Castle has it right now. On a switch picked up by Castleton. Over on the wing far side, and then driving into the lane, going high off glass, missing the shot. That was Johnson, and the Raptors snagged the rebound. Barrett across center.
That's a foul.
Yep.
Same thing.
He's getting pestered and hounded right now by Wesley. Wesley went for the beer league swat as Barrett spins in the lane and finishes with the floater.
Now, why isn't that a foul? He got bumped 3 times. You know, the reach around, missing the ball, hit him in the hip, and Barrett still scored.
Cross-court pass for San Antonio, freeing Wesley for an open 3-ball near sideline. Missed it down the floor. Here come the Raptors. Abaji cut off, goes back up top to Barrett. Missed the 3. Sohan with the rebound. Sohan 7 points, couple of rebounds in 7 minutes of action off the bench for San Antonio. Wesley brings it across center for the Spurs. Hands it off out on the far side, giving it to Johnson. Keldon Johnson. Now over to Sohan, who already had a step on Castleton, goes under the tin, hands off looking for the reverse as Castle blocked by Castleton, and here come the Raptors. Ochai handed it off to Jamal Shed, driving far side, lays it up and in on the runner. It's good, and the Spurs want the timeout.
Well, 6-0 run by the Raptors. There you go, Eric. You asked for it. See them chipping away. They've dug in, played a little bit harder on defense. See if they can continue it.
Well, they've already cut off a bit of the lead. They've chopped off 6 from what was a 20-point advantage. San Antonio still up 36-22, but the Spurs have been putting up the donut thus far in quarter number 2, 10:03 to play until halftime. It's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Mary, who stands 5 inches away from her 55-inch flat-screen TV and yells at it even though she knows no one on the TV can hear a word she's saying. Is it effective? There's no evidence. Do we support her? Yeah. Screaming at the TV for all 4 quarters. That's how Mary fans. And we're fans of Mary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Has your current car seen better days? Uses far more fuel than most new cars today? Is out of warranty and will need common repairs like brakes, tires, and more? Add it all together and you'll have the reason to come to High Park Nissan, Willowdale Nissan, or Newmarket Nissan and look at our Nissan Rogue or Kicks. The place to be for your Nissan Rogue or Kicks is High Park, Willowdale, or Newmarket Nissan during Nissan's 60 Years in Canada event.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you at Scotiabank Arena on a Sunday night with the Raptors trailing 36-22. Busy week for the Raptors coming up. In fact, if my math is correct, 5 games in 7 days, starting with tonight's game, then a back-to-back tomorrow in Washington. The Raptors then stay on the road to play against Brooklyn on Wednesday. They come back home for 1 game on Friday against Charlotte before hitting the road again for a tilt next Sunday at Philadelphia. 3 road games, 2 home games, 5 total in 7 days. And none of those games against teams with records above 500. In fact, all of those games against teams that are bottom 5 in either the East or West. San Antonio with a 14-point lead. They come out of the timeout. They get a triple in the near corner right in front of the Raptor bench. It goes down for Champagny. Toronto down 39-22. Barnes up top. Shed. North side 3-ball. Answers back with the triple.
I tell you, the kid's become a reliable shooter. Like his offense, he was drafted and probably made it on his grit and his defense. And now he's rounding into a complete player because of his offense.
Raptors just pick up a turnover on the Spurs. They're second of the game. They try for the 3-ball again. This time no good. That was Shed.
Really nice job, though, by Castleton, getting his nose dirty underneath the basket, trying to keep the ball alive and fighting for the offensive rebound. But just to put a bow on my comment about Shed, always give me that kid who's a defensive player.
Yep.
Because I'll give you a complete player pretty soon.
Raptors inbound. Barrett cutting to the tin, went for a left-hand scoop on the left side. Got bumped, no call, missed the shot. Spurs come away with it. And missing on the far wing was Johnson on the 3-ball. Raptors snagged the rebound. Toronto trailing 39-25, trying to chip away here after going down by 20. Shed, bounce pass, far corner to Ochai. Ochai at the far elbow to Castleton. Hands it back to Ochai, elevating for 3, missed it far sideline and down low. Securing the rebound was Castle across center for the Spurs. Trying to go at Shed, shoulder to shoulder, got into the paint, blows a tire. Passes in the near corner to Champagny, who buries it in front of the Raptor bench.
Well, Shed did a great job standing up the ball. There shouldn't have been that much help off the strong side. Jamal locked the guy up. Overhelp cost the Raptors on that one.
Shed has it again out at the far side. A little stop and go. Drive to the tin. Scoop it in. And Jamal Shed's cooking for the Raptors with 14.
Yeah, he's got the offense going. They need some stops, though. San Antonio shooting the ball at least from 3 pretty well.
Well, and overall, 49%. That'll dip a little bit as they just missed the triple, but they track down the offensive rebound. And as Castle elevated for the shot in the lane, they're going to call him for a charge, wipe out the possession, and give the ball to Toronto.
Nice job by Jacoby Walter standing in, taking the charge.
Garrett Temple's now going to get some burn as he'll come into the ball game with 7:51 to go in the second quarter. Amit Man will have the halftime show tonight. Raptors shooting just 32%, but that's up from where they were at the end of one. They were down at 25, and they just turned it over again for an 11th time, but the first of this quarter. We'll see if it comes back to bite them. Castle in the near corner. Tamamu Kelishvili driving into the lane. Passes far corner, no good on a 3-ball. That was Barnes, but Mamu tracks it down again. Spurs swing it around. Champagny in the lane, weaves through traffic, elevates for the shot, missed it, got his own tip back in, and the Spurs lead by 17.
Quick second bounce by Julian Champagny, and the ground that the Raptors made up, they've given some of it back, and Darko wants to talk about it. Castleton's turnover, the first one of the quarter, was, I give him credit, he was passing to somebody who should have been going back door just because the Spurs are so heavy on the deny when the Raptors get anything coming out away from the basket with respect to a cut or a dribble handoff.
44-27, San Antonio leading the Raptors with 7:13 to go in the first half on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CRV Sport here in Allison, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CRV Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
Craving something fresh, fast, and full of flavor? At Barburrito, you can create millions of delicious combinations to match your mood. Build your perfect burrito, bowl, quesadilla, or taco, bursting with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Whether you love it spicy, packed with veggies, or loaded with all the classics, there's a flavor for everyone. Barburrito is proudly Canadian, serving communities coast to coast, right in your neighborhood. Order today in store or on the Barburrito Canada app.
Barburrito, food for every mood.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 7:13 to go in the second quarter. Raptors trailing the Spurs 44-27. As Toronto has been kind of in trouble from about the opening 5 minutes onward. And really them shooting themselves in the foot, Jonesy, more than anything, with those 11 turnovers leading to 20 points.
Like I said, they've been better in the second half, but
second quarter,
that first quarter was absolutely deplorable.
Jonesy, one of a four-time Grammy Award winner in the house, a former member of Destiny's Child, and solid in her own right on her own as a single artist. Kelly Rowland, as Jonathan Mobo just tried to go for the highlight reel and missed.
I think of Kelly Rowland and Nelly. That's the one that I think of.
Yep. You want to start singing it or not?
No. Never sing on air.
Good. Well,
never
say never.
Never.
But just not when it's a duet of Kelly Rowland and Nelly. I know exactly, of course, which one you're talking about. Back the other way. After missing the dunk on the alley-oop, Mobo trying to go for the one-hand poster. He did indeed get back defensively, so kudos to him to get back in time, but he picks up the foul on Castle, sends Stefan Castle to the free throw line, and Castle misses the first one.
Stefan Castle all of a sudden losing bragging rights in the Spurs locker room with the Huskies, two-time defending champs going down. A close one to Florida. I mean, close because of a kind of throwaway three at the end, but...
And Gators win by 2. Castle hits the second free throw. San Antonio leading by 18. Their largest lead was 20. Shed across center gives it to Castleton on the wing near side. It's Walter now straight away. Walter goes over far side to Mobo. Back to Walter. On the wing near side to Shed. 3-ball, no good. Down low, great job on the rebound. Castleton, but he had a shot blocked from behind by Champagny. Ball comes out to the Raptors. They swing it around far corner. Temple back to Mobo in the paint to Castleton. Nice catch there as he took it away, snagged it, secured it, and laid it in.
I like that. 4 out, 1 in. And you really didn't have 4 great shooters on the out, and they were patient enough.
Mobo knocks it away from Barnes, picked up by Walter. Ahead to Mobo. This will be a good flush. Yes, indeed, a two-hand cram for the masked man, Jonathan Mobo.
Nice job by the Raptors there, creating a turnover. I like the fact that they're picking up a little bit higher, applying a little more ball pressure to extend the defense.
Raptors have it at 14 again. They haven't been able to get closer in this quarter. Mamu Kilishvili goes over far wing to Champagny. 3-ball is good, and Mamu with a good find, Jones. He sucked in defenders and found the open
Wow,
man.
the shot fake got Toronto in the air, and now you're forced to rotate.
Shed, cross court, right to left to Walter, and it goes through his hands, out of bounds, into the Spurs bench, and a 12th turnover for the Raptors.
Not a great pass, but a catchable ball.
Yep.
All right. Takes me back to the AFC Championship. Not a great pass, but you're a tight end, a pro tight end, getting paid a lot of money. You better squeeze that pigskin.
Champagny across center hands to Chris Paul back into the ball game. He's played 9 minutes tonight.
At least I don't have to worry about Myles Garrett going to Buffalo now.
I know. I was kind of hoping. At least he's getting paid, because otherwise I don't know what he's doing going back to the Browns. But he's making a lot of money, and good for him. Sohan just called for the walk, and guess who was in front of him?
Jamal
Smallest
Shed.
man on the floor, digging in, doing his business.
It shows you the small guards that the Raptors draft, how they draft the right attitude. Van Vliet, Lowry,
going back to Damon.
Yeah, Damon, TJ Ford. They're little, but they're not. They're going to give you attitude. They take it personally when you think you can take advantage of them.
Shed. Nice bounce pass to Castleton over in the far corner to a driving Garrett Temple, who tried to go in on the reverse, missed it. Picked up by Castleton, though. Out to Jacoby Walter. Gets in the lane, stops on a dime, turns, fires, misses. Castleton again gets his hands on the ball. Kicks out to Shed for a deep three. That one no good, and the Raptors couldn't get to that rebound.
Castleton doing a nice job on the inside.
Castleton off the bench, in the starting lineup tonight for the Raptors with 5 rebounds. Seems like he has more than that. But on the other end, Champagny gets fouled, and he's going to go to the free throw line. He has played very well for the Spurs. Speaking of off the bench, 11 points for Julian Champagny. Of course, we know his brother Justin quite well from his Raptor days. And Champagny will get a chance for 2 more at the stripe. His first appearance at the line, and the free throw no good. That's about the only thing the Spurs haven't done well tonight, shooting just 4 of 7 at the line. Shed's going to check out, as will Castleton. In fact, a bunch of changes with Walter and Temple sitting down as well. We'll clean up the lineup for the Raptors in a moment. Second free throw for Champagny, rattles around and goes down. San Antonio jumps back to an 18-point lead at 49-31.
They're really kind of holding the Raptors at bay. Every time Toronto musters a little energy to shave the lead, it suddenly balloons back.
49-31 is the score with 4:22 to go in the first half. Barrett was looking for a lob pass in the lane to Barnes, deflected, knocked away by the Spurs. A 13th turnover. Champagny triple, no good on the wing near side. Rebound to Mobile, hand off to Barrett. Here come the Raptors, sprinting across center. Barrett at the far elbow, goes on the sideline to Mobile, 3-ball, no good. All San Antonio on the glass. Vassell has it, cross court. On the near side, it's Paul. Stops his dribble to a cutting Sohan in the paint. Stops at the block, turns to a cutting Vassell in the paint, sucks in defenders, fires far corner. Barnes 3-ball is good.
Good 3 by San Antonio there. Not 1, but 2 paint touches before finding an open guy in the corner, and that 20-point lead has been restored.
Yeah, it's 21 now, largest of the game, but make it 19 as R.J. Barrett got in the lane and scooped one high off glass, got it to go. Barrett's now got 7 for the Raptors. Spurs, though, answer the 2 with a 3 as Vassell does it from the far sideline. He's got 13.
KYP, I know your personnel. That's what that guy does. Make him put it on the floor, run him off the line.
Barrett over to Barnes. Barnes inside the arc to Barrett in the paint. Went right, turns back left, turns with the left-hand floater, no good. Might have walked, but either way, missed the shot. Here comes Vassell at the free throw line to the trailer. Chris Paul weaves through traffic, then jackknifes the pass back out to the perimeter. Open 3-ball is good to Harrison Barnes, and the Spurs are just picking apart the Raptors right now.
They're getting into the paint for their kick-out threes and spraying it out.
San Antonio by 25. Battle to Barnes. Barnes looks up at the clock. Shot clock at 12. Goes in the near corner. Air ball by Mobo. Down low. Orlando Robinson can't get to it. It's off his fingertips. It's San Antonio ball with 2:41 until half, and the Spurs leading 58-33. Paul, 3-ball, straight away. Rattles 2 rims, no good, into the hands of Robinson. Orlando will bring it up himself now. Fire over far side to Barrett. Barrett straight away on the perimeter. Bounce pass in traffic to Battle. Not a great pass, but still the Raptors secure it. They kick it out on a 3-ball to Battle. It barely grazes iron, and San Antonio snags the rebound. Paul to Barnes. driving into the paint. Left-hand scoop is good, and the Raptors, 3 players had their backs turned.
Well, you got to get back and identify. Toronto not doing that.
And RJ drives to the tin, weaves past 3 Spurs players, but misses the layup, which was contested. RJ 3 of 9 tonight. Raptors shooting just 29%. Paul, right to left, over to Barnes, up fake, steps back, 3 ball, no good. Sohan down low, can't get to the rebound as Barnes taps it to Barrett, who gives it back to Scotty across center. Barnes, over on the near side, to Battle for 3, and it goes in for Jamison Battle.
Well, pick up the defense if you're Toronto. That's all you can say right now. I know you're not making shots, but you can't allow the other team to continue to pull away. They've got to feel you a little bit and not just continue to get these great looks.
Champagny up top, gave it up. And we're going to have an offensive foul.
Champagny pushed Barrett into Vassell, the ball handler. Good call by veteran official Tom Washington.
As Johnson and Castle now check back in, Champagny and Barnes will sit down. Barrett, Barnes, Mobo, Robinson, and Battle for the Raptors. And now for San Antonio, Vassell, Castle, Paul, Johnson, and Sohan in the paint on the block near side. Oh, beautiful job with the up fake and then the pirouette on a spin move finish. It's Scotty Barnes.
Nice move, nice cut. A good delivery, on time, on target.
Sohan to Castle, straight away. Battle gets up on him. Now Castle drives into the painted area, fouled by Battle, and he's going to go to the free throw line with 51 seconds to play.
You know what grinds my gears about that one? The carry that Castle used out top. Took a good 3/4 of a second or maybe a full second with his hand underneath the ball to decide what he was going to do, and then he changes speed and direction. You can't stop that.
Yeah.
And I was on a group chat with a couple of former university coaches, and we talk about it all the time. The college game needs to allow a little bit more physical contact because it is a high level of ball. That, like, play through contact a little bit. Those fouls are called far too quickly. But then on the other side, the pro game needs to, as I say, restore the integrity by calling palming, traveling, and 3 seconds.
Castle goes 2 of 2 at the stripe. Spurs leading 62-38. 3 ball for the Raptors. Walter far side, no good. San Antonio on the glass. And then as they advance, Castle loses the ball. It goes out of bounds. It's picked up by the Raptors. Just a 7th turnover for the Spurs. Through traffic, right to left, and as he's heading towards the baseline, Barrett fires one up with a left-hand scoop high off glass. It's good. It's a tough shot there for RJ Barrett.
Yeah, and you're not going to get any slowdown in him.
Raptors down 62-40. Paul up at center court on that big Raptor logo. There's about a 3-second differential, shot clock, game clock. Now it's battle on Chris Paul. Chris Paul, 14 minutes in the first half, has just 1 bucket, but they haven't needed anything more from Paul. 3 ball no good from Johnson, far corner. Raptors snag the rebound, and that will do it at the half. The Raptors will lick their wounds going into the locker room and have a lot of work to do in the second half.
Well, they were better in terms of not turning the ball over as much, but a lot of the die was cast and damage was done. Let's see if they can turn that around and maybe force some more turnovers by San Antonio in the second half, and they got to make some shots.
62-40 is the score. San Antonio leading Toronto. Amit Mann will come up with the halftime show. Then Jonesy and I will return for the second half on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans. What would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Oh no, I can't be out of ink. Not now.
Mega Tank.
Why do I always do this to myself? What is that printer that comes with 30 times the ink?
Mega Tank.
Yes, it's a Canon. Mega phone?
Mega Tank.
It's a Canon printer. It comes with like $2,000 worth of ink. Prints me over 7,700 color pages.
Mega Tank.
Mega what?
Listen to the voice in your head and get a Canon Megatank printer, so you don't have to think about ink for a long, long time. Canon Megatank printers available at Best Buy, Amazon, and Staples.
Spring.
Gotcha. It's maple.
Well, yes, but let me finish. It's made
with 100% Canadian maple syrup?
Right again. It's a brand new smoky maple sauce featured in...
Oh, some new McD's breakfast sandwiches.
And you can try it
before 11 a.m. only.
Wow, you're good at this.
I know what I like. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
This is Amit Man. The halftime show is brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game in the 2025 CRV Sport. At the half, it's San Antonio by a lot, folks. It's 62 for the Spurs. Toronto has 40 after 24 minutes. This game comes down to a few things, like its turnovers and its three-point shooting of the San Antonio Spurs. They were very good from beyond the arc in that first half, starting with the Toronto Raptors. You know, Scotty Barnes, he's got 5 points on 2 of 3 shooting, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 turnovers as well. We'll get to the turnovers in just a second, but I enjoyed watching him pass in this first half. He was getting doubled a lot, and he was forced to make some decisions with the ball from wherever the double was coming from. Sometimes it was the wing, other times it was up top. He made good decisions, and some of the turnovers he had, I mean, a lot of it was, you know, teams and players getting in his dribble and making things tough on him. That's something he's going to continue to have to develop from. But from a standpoint of passing, Scotty wasn't too bad. RJ Barrett making his return after missing 3 games. He has 9 points on 4 of 10 shooting, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 turnovers. Jamal Shedd making a start, going up against Stephen Castle. I thought it'd be a really fun matchup for Jamal to dig in and to see where he is and stack up against a pretty good point guard in Castle. And Jamal has 14 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He also has 3 turnovers. So the Raptors as a team, they have 12 in that first half. Yeah, that's a lot, right? And off those turnovers, the Spurs had 20 points. So right there, I mean, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball just with the amount of turnovers that you have. But, you know, credit them for getting on the offensive glass because they do have 11 offensive rebounds. Colin Castleton actually has 3 of them. He's done a pretty good job, and the Raptors are crashing the glass, but it's easy to crash the glass when you're missing a lot of shots. They're shooting 17 of 51 so far, 5 of 19 from 3. Not gonna cut it at all. On the other side of things, Devin Vassell has 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting. 3 threes for him, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Harrison Barnes, 10 points, 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. Stephen Castle, 9 points on 2 of 5 shooting with 1 3. And then you have Julian Champagnie off the bench, 12 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3. The Spurs shot 39% in that first half from 3. This is the team that gets them up, and they're doing a great job of getting good looks, which we'll get to in just a moment. They shoot 22 of 46 overall, 17 assists, 10 steals, and just 7 turnovers compared to the Raptors' 12. We'll get into that first half and look ahead to the second half. When we return, you're listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and sportsnet.ca.
Craving something fresh, fast, and full of flavor? At Barburrito, you can create millions of delicious combinations to match your mood. Build your perfect burrito, bowl, quesadilla, or taco, bursting with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Whether you love it spicy, packed with veggies, or loaded with all the classics, there's a flavor for everyone. Barburrito is proudly Canadian, serving communities coast to coast, right in your neighborhood. Order today in store or on the Barburrito Canada app.
Barburrito, food for every mood.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom! Wha-bam! Zap! Turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
Guess who just bundled their home and auto with Desjardins Insurance?
Well, look at you, all grown up and saving money.
Yes, I am.
Mom told you to do it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Switch and you could save up to 35% on home insurance when you bundle home and auto. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
Life's noisy enough. Everything demands your attention. So here's something rare. Silence. It's underappreciated. Kind of like windows from Magic. You simply unlock the handle and push them open all the way. No cranks, no problems. While others add to the noise, Magic cuts right through it. Find out more at magicwindow.ca.
Check out 32 Thoughts, the podcast, brought to you by the GMC Sierra. For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to wield its power and to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Truck Month is on now with limited time deals available on GMC Sierra light duty, heavy duty, and all electric models. Visit gmccanada.ca or visit your local dealer to learn more about our Truck Month offers today.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back to tonight's halftime show. My name is Amit Mann. Currently at 62 for the San Antonio Spurs, and the Raptors have 40 with just a few minutes remaining in halftime, and we'll get you to second half action with Paul Jones and Eric Smith in just a moment. But just looking at the first half for a quick second here. So the Raptors, they had a lot of turnovers, especially in that first quarter, and obviously, when you're turning the ball over like that, you're putting yourself in a really precarious position to try to win a game, especially against a team that's shooting the ball really well. So the Spurs were able to get out on the break, get some open catch-and-shoot threes, and that put the Raptors in a really tough spot. And then just the three-point shooting from the Spurs. They got in rotation, the Raptors did, really fast. Like their point of attack defense, off pick and rolls, off DHOs, it just hasn't been very good. Like they've been pretty good overall this season, but especially over the last 3 weeks or so of containing the ball, that first level, but it hasn't been there tonight, not at all. And when it's not there, your rotations have to be sound, but eventually, if a team is making the right plays, they're going to find a good shot, and the Spurs did on several occasions, and that's why they shot 11 of 28 for 39% in the first half. So the Raptors got to figure that out. That's not good enough. That's not going to cut it at all. But aside from that, Jamal Shead, I thought he was really good. As I said before, this was a game that I'm looking forward to see how he stacks up against Stephen Castle. And early on, Steph was kind of taking his lunch money a little bit, a few blocks, a few steals, a few turnovers that were caused by Jamal. But then after that, he settled into the game, and he has this bump into a floater that's really effective. He's got those broad shoulders of his, and they do a good job of creating space, and from there he's able to get into his jumpers, his floaters, and so forth. And just his three-point shooting has been continuing to get better and better this season, and he was very good in that first half again. So a shout out to him. He was very good. The play of the first half that would have been a Raptor highlight was Jacoby Walter and Jonathan Mobile. They're running a pick and roll, and Jacoby, he finds Jonathan on the lob, and he almost makes this cock back alley-oop dunk. Unfortunately, he clanked the front of the rim. That would have been the best highlight of the first half. It doesn't matter, Spurs, Toronto, that would have been the play, but unfortunately, it did not go in. Stephen Castle, 2 points, 3 offensive rebounds. He was providing energy, and he was doing a good job at that. That's kind of what you want from him. And going into this, last 24, you're down by 22 points. Scotty Barnes, I want to see him continue to deal with double teams, limit the turnovers, play some sound on-ball defense, because what we saw in that first half is just, it's not your identity, and I would imagine that Darko's telling them that right now as the Raptors are heading out into the court for the beginning of the second half. And we'll have you with Paul Jones and Eric Smith in just a moment. But keep on doubling Scotty because I want to see him get better at this stuff. RJ Barrett, great to see him back on the court. Continue to drive. Do your thing, man. And we'll see how things go in this second half. We'll talk to you after the game. All right, you're listening to Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and sportsnet.ca.
Need to send money in another currency? With Wise, you can send money internationally without hidden fees. From dollars to dong, pounds to pesos, euros to yen, you could save up to 3 times compared to major banks. Send money with Wise in more than 40 currencies without getting ripped off. See how much you could save. Download the Wise app today. Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies. Terms and conditions apply.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf.
The tournament is here. March Madness is here. The craziness is here. Don't forget, hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat, hanging out with us, cheering on your favorite team.
Clayton steals it and lays it in. Clayton a good look. Hit 6.
Check out our new website, www.torontosportsinsider.com, and check out the link that is in the description as well as in the chat that shows where all of the live viewers are watching from. Are you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon.
What a great scene this is.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us.
This kid, he might not always fit the bill from, the productivity standpoint, but it would never, ever be for a lack of effort.
So Barrett heads to the stripe, misses the first and second, and comes away with nothing. Raptors, as a team, have only been to the free throw line 4 times, only twice in the first half, and now just 1 of 4. We are 30 seconds into the third quarter. Raptors trailing 62-40. Paul out on the far side, driving into the paint. Whips a pass to Biombo, turns, fires, and a one-hand floater. Good for Biz. Biombo with his first bucket of the game, a couple of points, 2 assists and 4 rebounds, adding a block shot as well. Scotty Barnes' 3-ball is good on the near sideline, just in front of us. Raptors trail by 21.
Good find by Jamal Shed.
Shed with his 3rd assist of the ball game. San Antonio coming back and looking for another bucket for Castle. He's fouled by Castleton, and Castle's going to go to the free throw line.
Well, that started in the backcourt when San Antonio was able to get an advantage. RJ pressuring the ball, got bumped off the ball. And you got Chris Paul, a good decision maker, hustling front court with the ball.
At the free throw line, Castle takes care of business on both the first and second, and San Antonio opens up a 23-point lead. Their largest lead was 27 in the first half. Castleton hands off to Shed. Driving into the lane, then handing back to Castleton at the right block. Tried to spin around. Bismack Biyombo missed the shot, and the ball deflects off Toronto, out of bounds as they were battling for the rebound, and the Spurs will get it. They inbound. Castle to Paul, back to Castle. He'll bring it across center. 10:38 to go in this third quarter, and San Antonio sees Barrett reach in and pick up a foul. That'll be his first of the game with 10:38 to go. It's going to be on the shot, sending Castle to the free throw line. And Jonesy, we got to give a shout out to our guy, J.R. Manitat. We did a little research, a little digging, a little viewing during the halftime, who said not only is Kelly Rowland in attendance tonight, but so is the Queen, one of the Queens.
Mary J.
Mary J is in the house, like just across from us to our left. If you don't mind, at some point I might just put the headset down and go over and say hi to her, or see if she wants to come over and join us on the broadcast.
Well, you would have to put your headset down after me.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you want to go over and see if you can bring her over, I will gladly accept and embrace Mary J coming on to the broadcast.
Not just like for her singing, but she's got the acting thing going in Power Book 2 as well.
Absolutely. Raptors, after Castle made good on the free throws, come back the other way and unfortunately can't come up with anything on their offensive trip as Shed misses on a triple. San Antonio with the rebound back in the far corner inside the arc. Jumper good for Vassell, and the Spurs have matched their 27-point lead. 70-43, just over 2 minutes gone by in the third quarter.
Well, the Raptors got to kind of pick it up and establish something. This is the first night of the back-to-back era. They are in Washington tomorrow. And you just, well, the competitive part of me says you can't have another holdover like this.
Far corner, 3-ball, no good. Scotty Barnes, rebound by Ochai. Out to Shed, back to Scotty, now on the wing far side. And that one good from the west side.
Better shot prep, stepped into it with better conviction.
San Antonio leading 70-46. Stopping on a dime in the lane. Faking right, spinning left, then kissing it off glass and getting it to go. Vassell with the bucket. He's up to 17. That was a pretty shot. Castleton in the lane. Floater over. Biz is good. Raptors answer back. Spurs call the timeout.
Well, the guys are out there still working hard. They need to improve the efficiency a little bit more. See, still a long way to go if you're Toronto.
9:13 to go in the frame. Raptors trailing 72-48. It's third quarter action on Toronto Raptors basketball. Brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Tangerine, we're fans of fans who are invested in the game. Like Gary, who lies with reckless abandon every time he's invited out on game night, so he doesn't have to miss game night. Sorry, it's mating season for my pet squid. My e-scooter is out of gas. I ate a beanless burrito. My shoulder blade feels dull. I'm traveling to the 16th century. That's how Gary fans. And we're fans of Gary. This is how we fan. Tangerine, the official bank of the Toronto Raptors.
Rogers Xfinity Internet is ready for everything. So you can search and stream and shop and study and share and play and post and work and watch and game and work out and download and... Wow, that's a lot. And now you can save a lot too at the Rogers Spring Event. Visit in-store or Rogers.com and save on Canada's most reliable internet. Get Rogers Xfinity Internet and be ready to do more everything.
Donate online at carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll benefit a child and get a maximum tax credit.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Donate today, and your car can be gone tomorrow.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 9:13 to go, third quarter. 72-48, San Antonio leading the Raptors. And a big ovation in the back for Mary J. Blige, introduced to the crowd here at Scotiabank Arena. Raptors tonight getting 11 points from Scotty Barnes, 9 from R.J. Barrett, a team-high 14 for Jamal Shedd on the other side. For San Antonio, 4 players in double figures. Vassell, number 1 in scoring with 17. Castle's got 13 off the bench. Champagny with 12. Give us a little Mary J. quickly. There we go. Oh, we caught the very end of it. Man,
Real
fire
love?
the DJ.
Is that real love?
Yep.
Yes.
72-48. San Antonio with the ball out of the timeout. It's Biz on the perimeter, hounded by Castleton. Gives it back to Castle. He's going to elevate for a 3-ball near side. Rolls off the rim into the hands of R.J. Barrett. Nice rebound by R.J. His 6th of the game. That's a team high. In fact, it matches the game high set by Vassell for the Spurs as well. R.J. leaning in on Chris Paul at the far elbow, and he got Paul to commit the foul, and R.J.'s going to go to the stripe.
Nice job by RJ with his crab dribble, taking advantage of the size.
So Barrett goes to the line. And Barrett continues to have his issues at the stripe now. 0 of 3, the Raptors as a team, just 1 of 5. Second one goes in. And a little conversation going on, Jonesy, during Barrett's free throw on the near sideline here with Darko Rajakovic and Chris Paul.
I didn't catch the full gist of it, but definitely some chatter, at least from Chris Paul.
Well, it looked like Darko was laughing and smiling. Chris Paul looked like he was serious in all business. Don't know what it was all about.
Chris Paul's generally serious in all business when he walks on the floor. You think about some of the guys in his draft year that are not playing any longer. High picks, Darren Williams, people like that, and he's still out there, still out here trying to give you everything he has. I would really like him. They talk about guys getting to a contender. I'd like to see him have a chance for a championship.
Well, he should have been a Los Angeles Laker before the league vetoed that deal back in the day.
Yeah,
but I digress.
When the Hornets, the New Orleans, Oklahoma City Hornets were owned by the league, and David Stern vetoed the deal that would have sent him to L.A. with Kobe.
So the Spurs got a bucket out of Vassell. He's now up to 19 points in the ball game. Raptors came back and turned the ball over on an errant pass from R.J. Barrett. Now Barrett just picked up a foul on the other end. That's his second of the ball game. 7:58 to go here in the third quarter, and the Raptors trailing by 25, Jonesy. We're almost, well, maybe not quite midway third, but less than 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Raptors have not yet hit 50 points in the game. Shot no good for Castle for the Spurs. Raptors secure the rebound. Mobo fires ahead to R.J. Barrett into the lane. Barrett was blocked out by the concession dude as the Raptors working around on the perimeter to Scotty Barnes for three.
Really nice job.
And San Antonio quickly back. We can't even break down the Barnes play as the Raptors defense just gives up an open layup to Castle.
Yeah, they got a paint touch, got the ball inside, and now another turnover as RJ goes to the floor. The pass deflected away. 15 turnovers for Toronto. Ouch.
Well, the only good thing about that is 10 of the 15 came in the opening quarter. They've had only, and I use that term very loosely, only 5 since. But still, 15 turnovers tonight, 20 points off turnovers. Raptors trailing 76-52. Shed weaving through traffic to try and stay with Chris Paul, who goes cross-court right to left. Driving to the 10, Barnes kicks it out on the perimeter. Spurs working around to Vassell, drives into the paint. Tried to pass to Biz, deflects off the Raptors. Toronto got hands in pass lanes, knocked it away, and San Antonio will get it back with 4.4 on the shot clock.
High hands by Toronto. Good job collapsing.
Paul, baseline, inbound, right under the 10 to Barnes, elevated for the shot, missed it. Raptors secure the rebound. Scotty Barnes has it across center. Gonna pull up for a three ball, grazes iron, tracks down his own miss though, faked the pass in the corner, gave it up to Castleton at the free throw line, to Mobo in the near corner to Shed for three, missed that one, had a great look. Barnes had the rebound, but they're gonna call a push in the back, a foul on Scotty, his first of the game, and give the ball to the Spurs.
Well, Scotty did a nice job there. A couple guys battling for the ball, and they had him for the push in the back on Biyombo. Give Biz credit for having good inside position.
6:45 to go third quarter. Barnes over on the far sideline. Jonesy wanted to walk. They didn't call it.
Carl, our stats guy right beside me, but we look like the Temptations. Like, that's the one. The Raptors pressure, they pressure, they pressure. San Antonio comes back to get the ball, and the pressure causes a walk. There's your turnover. Reward them.
Well, and unfortunately, they didn't get rewarded. They got bit as Vassell got another bucket on the other end. He's up to 21 points in the ballgame. The Raptors quickly come down the floor. Scotty Barnes fouled, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
Well, and that's what I mean by restoring the integrity of the game. You pressure the inbound. You double team the guy that's getting the ball. Now somebody has to come back. He's under pressure because the guy's with him. He catches it, he travels. They don't call anything. Now you turn around and it's instead of a one-on-one situation, you've got three defenders caught against two offensive players because there wasn't a travel, and they get a basket. That kind of thing irks me.
After the Barnes free throws, the Raptors trail by 24 at 78-54. Barnes 11 points in the quarter, up to 16, 6, and 5, but his Raptors down big. Paul fires out on the perimeter. Open look, no good for Johnson, and the Raptors couldn't get to the glass. It's put back up and in by Bismack Biyombo. Raptors just turned it over again. Down the floor comes Vassell with a monstrous cram, and Darko wants the timeout.
Well, and there's another one of those I was talking about, Eric, in the first half. Castleton out top of the key, straddling the three-point line, dribble handoff, he and Jamal Shed. Shed's coming out away from the basket. The defender's reading that, blows it up, ends up with the breakaway dunk. Shed's got to stop and go back door, even for a step, to see if the defender comes with him. If he comes with him, then you go and get the dribble handoff. Like, simple fundamentals that are being overlooked now are really, really costing Toronto.
82-54. Spurs knocking on the door of a 30-point lead. This is their largest lead of the game. With 5:46 to go in the third quarter, it's Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
At Honda, we take pride in building the CR-V Sport here in Alliston, Ontario. And with all-wheel drive, plus a suite of Honda sensing technologies, we made sure it can handle Ontario winters. But you're probably wondering, what's with the one-touch power moonroof? Well, Ontario, we hold on to the hope that one day winter will be over. Get ready for spring and adventure with the Honda CR-V Sport. Lease with rates from 1.99% for 36 months, plus get a $1,500 Honda bonus. OAC conditions apply. Made with domestic and imported parts. See HondaOntario.com.
Orthotics.
Footwear.
Orthotics.
Footwear.
Guys, enough. Kintec are experts in orthotics and footwear. It's what sets them apart. By tailoring orthotics to your shoes and shoes to your orthotics, you get comfort and support designed just for you.
Oh, so it's orthotics and footwear working together.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
You got it.
Or tuna and jam.
Is that a thing?
PB&J. Tuna and jam.
Oh, boy.
Kintec footwear and orthotics.
Hey, hun, did you see if last week's hail dented the shed?
No, but yesterday's hail definitely found the fence.
Well, today's hail got the car out front. At least now it matches the fence.
That is one way of looking at it.
Severe weather in Ontario is becoming an everyday part of life, and we all pay the price. In fact, last year was one of the worst ever. Canada's insurance industry is working hard to help you adapt, recover, and protect the things we love. Learn more at ibc.ca/tomorrow.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Back at Scotiabank Arena, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. 5:46 to go, third quarter. Raptors down 82-54.
Well, the red carpet welcomes continue for R&B singer Mario. He's got a couple jams that are really good, timeless. There you go, JR.
He's trying to get his job back. I'm not going to let him live down not getting us some Mary J. Not that I don't mind Mario, but...
That's solid. That's solid.
Nothing's going to top Mary J.
You might have to try to get to this concert and do the broadcast remote from the concert.
Well, I mean, we start at, 7 o'clock tomorrow night with the Raptors and Wizards. We might be done by 9:30. You probably catch at least the last part of it.
Well, somebody just taking the stage at 9:30,
Absolutely.
Right?
We know security folks. Maybe they can open a back door or something, Jonesy. I don't want to get anybody in any trouble, but, Raptors give up another bucket out of the timeout. San Antonio gets it to go on a dunk from Sohan to go up 30, but the Raptors get a 3-ball from Jacoby Walter to cut it. And I say that somewhat tongue-in-cheek, to 27. Raptors got to start getting some stops on this end. Spurs now up to 52% from the floor. Raptors still shooting just 36%. Johnson up fake, got in the lane, floats one up, missed the shot, but he's fouled, and Keldon Johnson's going to go to the free throw line.
Close out, proper fundamentals.
Here we go, play the release, one.
First free throw good to go. Second one up and in for Johnson. And San Antonio leads 86-57. Raptors had a 7-6 lead very early in the opening quarter. It's been all San Antonio since. And down low, Jamison Battle had his shot blocked. And then they ultimately blew the whistle on a foul going against Vassell. Chris Paul's calling for a replay. Doesn't seem like the Spurs are going to challenge that call. So Jamison Battle is indeed going to go to the free throw line. One of two masked players on the floor for the Raptors, both he and Jonathan Mobo dealing with nasal and face issues. First free throw goes down for Jamison Battle. Off the bench with 4 points in 11 minutes. Raptors 5 of 9 at the free throw line. Second one coming. That one clean as well. Raptors still down big, 86-59. 4:36 to go here in the third quarter. Chris Paul brings it up across center. On the baseline, he fires into the near corner to Champagny, and a late whistle comes in on a foul against Battle as he closed out on the perimeter, and his feet got tied up with Champagny, who falls to the floor, and Julian Champagny will head to the free throw line for 3 with 4:23 to go here in the third quarter. Ron Foxcroft, the off-court official, standing up and holding up the 3 fingers to signal that it was indeed a 3-ball.
And if that can be done that quickly?
This play is under review for possible flagrant foul for the landing space.
I hear you. If it could be done that quickly, yes.
Why can't they all be done that quickly?
It's a great question, Jonesy. These are answers I don't have. So now it's being checked for the flagrant. If Battle didn't give Champagny ample room to land. We have not been yet shown another look by our TV friend, so we can't really give you our second opinion on things. 86-59 is the score. Raptors down by 27. 4:23 to go in the third quarter. And Jonesy, you noted that we will be working again tomorrow night. Yes, indeed. Tomorrow night's game in Washington, Raptors and Wizards, will be heard right here on the Sportsnet Radio Network. In fact, the next 3 games tonight, Monday and Wednesday, all on the Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network. But it's an interesting week for the Raptors where, as we noted earlier in the broadcast, the opponents aren't exactly
world beaters.
Correct.
Due to the reckless closeout, potential injury, and not allowing a landing space, we have a flagrant foul. Penalty 1. We'll have 2 free throws, and San Antonio will retain possession.
So it is a flagrant foul.
Well, by the letter of the law, was there room to land? No, but also consider what flagrant means. Jamison Battle was, as a shooter, was doing everything after closing and getting close to not be in that landing space.
Champagny knocks down the first 2 free throws. I also don't like the definition of it saying reckless, because he didn't close out recklessly. He almost walked out to the contest and he just stood his ground. I didn't see him kick out a foot or a leg.
No,
right?
Which would make it flagrant,
right,
egregious,
reckless.
And I don't see that. A foul, yeah, maybe a technical foul, like with no shots and unsportsmanlike technical, but.
Keldon Johnson missing on a left-hand scoop after the Spurs inbounded the ball following the 3 free throws that were good. Raptors looking to answer back with a triple far corner. Battle can't knock it down, but the Raptors get the offensive rebound. Scotty Barnes up fake, skips into traffic, lays it in. Barnes has been having a fantastic third quarter, but his team still trails big. It's a 28-point lead for San Antonio with 3:45 to go in the third. Champagny out on the far side, dribbles toward the painted area, kicks out to Sohan. Turns around, gives it back to Champagny, far sideline 3, no good. Ball tipped out by Mobo into the hands of Battle, who brings it across center. To Barnes on the wing near side. Down low to Orlando Robinson. Tons of size on the advantage. He had a shot blocked from behind by Johnson. The Raptors get the ball back, and down Main Street, Mobo finds the ball. It goes to the tin and lays it in.
I like Mobo's athleticism there. Looked like he was angling for a dunk and had to change his mind, but still with a quality finish in traffic.
Now 3:10 to go in the quarter.
So Vassell now runs over Jacoby Walter in something that looks far more
dangerous
and flagrant than the closeout, and they won't even look at it.
3:13 to go. Barnes is going to check out of the ball game right now. 89-63. San Antonio leading. Barrett bringing it across center, 10 points, 6 rebounds in the ball game, adding a couple of assists. Gives it up to Orlando Robinson above the far elbow. Sohan is on him. Robinson still with the ball, stops his dribble though, has to give it up to Mobo. Back to Robinson, floats the pass too high, an 18th turnover for the Raptors.
Well, they got that easy dribble handoff because 2 guys went back door and Robinson gave them a look, which gave some pressure relief to get the ball on the dribble handoff.
2:44 to go now. Nice up and under move by Vassell down toward the left block on the baseline as he floats one up from about 6 feet, gets it to go. He's got 23 in the ball game, 12 in the quarter. Barrett had his pass deflected in the lane. Ball picked up by the Spurs down the floor on a 3-on-1. Vassell back to Johnson on a one-hand touch pass with a one-hand alley-oop layup, and the Spurs put the lead back to 30.
Turnovers. 3-on-1 broken floor. You turn it over like that, your defense isn't ready, the balance is bad. It's just so difficult to try and stop.
19 turnovers in the ball game. 28 points off turnovers for the San Antonio Spurs. The Raptors trailed by 30, 93-63, with 2:19 to go in the quarter. Jonesy, there's quite frankly, quite honestly, not a ton to say in terms of positivity tonight for the Raptors, but Scotty Barnes is the one guy who has been kind of busting through and doing his best to keep the Raptors in it here in this third quarter. Toronto did lose the second quarter by just 2. They've tried to keep it fairly tight here in the third. They are being outscored by 8 in this frame, but it's really that first quarter. Raptors down 20 at the end of the quarter, and they haven't been able to recover since.
That first quarter did demand with the turnovers and the points off the turnovers. They were just never able to recover.
2:19 to go, third quarter. Raptors down 93-63. Jacoby Walter to Robinson, Orlando Robinson holding it, handing it off to Barrett. Moving right to left, stops his dribble out above the far elbow, bounces the pass into the lane, picked off. Another turnover for RJ and the Raptors. Driving, Johnson, baseline, far side behind the back, pass out on the perimeter to Sohan. Tried to go left, spin back right, lost the handle, gives it up. That's going to be the Spurs' 9th turnover. The Raptors with 20. We'll see if Toronto can take advantage of this miscue. Barrett to Robinson, driving, far side, gets down to the block. Bounces the pass into the corner to Battle, out on the wing. To Walter, sets the feet, elevates, misses the 3. Champagny with the rebound. 15 points, 2 boards, 2 assists for Julian Champagny. Gives it up to Vassell, who brings it across center. Over to Wesley at the logo at center. We tick towards the final minute. There's 1:22 to go. Sohan down on the right block, leans in on Robinson, now hands it off to Johnson, driving, missed it. Ball tipped around into the hands of Ochai. Raptors secure the rebound. Abaji on the near sideline. Walter, good look at a 3, missed it, and a little push in the back on Battle. That'll wipe out the possession for Toronto. Give the ball to San Antonio with 1:09 to play.
Well, San Antonio doing a good job on their defensive end in terms of the rebounding. Toronto has an edge, but think about all the missed shots by Toronto. 24 of 68, only 36%. A whole lot more potential for offensive rebounds and second chance points in Toronto. Although leading in the category, not nearly enough.
For those following along at home or that are on the road that want to know, Kentucky, the number 3 seed, does beat Illinois 84-75 in NCAA action. We'll give you some other scores in college basketball and around this association in a couple of moments. Orlando Robinson hands off to Ochai on the perimeter. Spurs leading 95-63 after the free throws from Wesley. 3-ball no good, far sideline. RJ Barrett missed it. He's 4 of 11 in the ball game, 1 of 4 from distance. Wesley weaves through a little bit of traffic, brings it back toward the perimeter, keep the dribble alive, gets back into the paint, kicks back out to a wide-open Sohan. Misses the three. Rebound deflects out to the perimeter, though, picked up by Champagny. In the near corner to Johnson. Good look at one. Missed it right in front of his own bench. Barrett with the rebound. 7 rebounds for Barrett. That leads everybody on either side. Across center comes RJ. Bumps. Goes back up top to Battle. 3-ball. No good. Down low, Sohan couldn't squeeze, but they're going to say it's tipped by Toronto. What? And give the ball to the Spurs. Am I missing something? That looked like it was completely off Sohan's hands.
Clearly.
Spurs ball as they inbound with 15 seconds left in the quarter. They lead by 32. It's their largest lead of the game. 95-63. Understandably, it's very quiet in this building. Sohan into the paint. Floats one up just before the buzzer. He missed the shot, but the putback jam, I believe, is good for Julian Champagny. We will await official word, but I think that bucket will be deemed good. If it is indeed the case, it'll be 97-63, and it will be a 34-point lead heading to the fourth quarter.
That's another winning quarter for the Spurs. And the Raptors just having all kinds of issues.
And the bucket is indeed good. Champagny now with 17 off the bench. And the Raptors in a world of hurt heading to the final frame on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
Craving something fresh, fast, and full of flavor? At Barburrito, you can create millions of delicious combinations to match your mood. Build your perfect burrito, bowl, quesadilla, or taco, bursting with bold flavors and fresh ingredients. Whether you love it spicy, packed with veggies, or loaded with all the classics, there's a flavor for everyone. Barburrito is proudly Canadian, serving communities coast to coast, right in your neighborhood. Order today in store or on the Barburrito Canada app.
Barburrito, food for every mood.
Hey, have you heard about Qubit? What's Qubit? Qubit is a great solution if you're moving, storing, or renovating. We used Qubit for our renovation. A container was delivered to our driveway so that we could store our furniture. We redid our floors and painted the house. It's so convenient. We loved it. And so did our contractors.
Qubit makes moving, storing, and renovating easy. For a limited time, save 50% on first 4 weeks. Visit Qubit.ca. That's Qubit.ca.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590. The Fan.
Back at Scotiabank Arena, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you, getting set to start the fourth quarter. Jonesy, if the Raptors come back, the beard comes off. Toronto trails by 34.
I'm not sure how to respond to that one.
And Jonesy will grow one. Is it possible? I've seen it with a... Yeah, it is. I've seen a goatee before.
Yeah. That
you just can't get the cheeks
a
going?
whole month on Movember years ago.
It's all right.
No, we're not doing that.
Come on, Jonesy. The Raptors come back from down 34. You're telling me you won't give me a goatee?
To make their record 25 and 46.
Hey, you said you want them to make the play-in.
I do, but do they? That's the bigger question.
97-63. Spurs turn the ball over to start the fourth quarter. Shed into the lane. Kicks out to Barnes out on the far sideline. Barnes now at the far elbow. Spins into the lane and goes by 3 defenders midair to flush it down.
That's big time. That is big time.
Sohan backing down on Barrett. Fires back out on the perimeter. Champagny 3 is good. Shed was right up on him, but Champagny has played very well tonight. 4 of 6 from the perimeter. 6 of 9 overall for 20 points. San Antonio leading by 35. It's their largest lead. They're in the midst of an 11-2 run going back to the third quarter. Barrett, wide open 3-ball, rattled 2 rims, no good. Castleton got hands on it, tracks it down, loose ball though. is picked up by Sohan, so the Raptors ultimately don't get the rebound. Sohan to Johnson. Johnson went left, turns back right, bounces a pass to Sohan, fires into the corner to Mamu. 3-ball, lefty release is good. The Spurs call him Mamu. I'm sticking with that.
All right.
I've already said it twice in the game. I don't think I need to say it more, right? I know I can't spell it. Far sideline, 3-ball, no good for Johnson after the Raptors missed with Ochai Agbaji. Down the floor, off the miss. RJ got behind the defense, flushes one down on a two-hand cram, and the Spurs burn an early timeout. Not sure why.
Well, coach may just want to reinforce a few things. Maybe he wants to work on stuff. It was a big-time move by Scotty Barnes, though. The dunk was big. The spin seemed like he changed speed as well as changing directions off the spin.
103-67. Been a bit of a rough night, to say the least. But the Raptors will try to close strong when we continue on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
86 deliveries made.
11 friends' houses moved.
9 rentals completed, and the next one on its way.
Measure your Tundra's capability in memories, not just mileage. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2025 Tundra 4x4 Crewmax SR from $150 weekly for 36 months at 4.79% with $5,800 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today.
Supporting Canadian businesses has never been more important. That's why Canada Post is committed to making it easier to ship Canadian with our best rates ever. Right now, your business will save up to 70% on expedited shipping and returns. Plus, as a Toronto-based business, you can access rates as low as $3.50 for lightweight local packages. It's time to shop Canadian, ship Canadian. Learn more about our best rates at canadapost.ca/shipcanadian.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Back at Scotiabank Arena, Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Fourth quarter, 10-10 to go. Early timeout from the Spurs. They lead 103-67. I said we'd give some other scores, Jonesy, around the association. Detroit beating the Pelicans earlier today, 136-130. Cleveland blows out Utah, 120-91. Atlanta with a 18-point lead on Philadelphia right now, 113-95. Miami on top of the Charlotte Hornets, 101-79. Portland trails Boston by 13, 121-108. That one in the fourth quarter. 3:43 to go second quarter. Denver trailing Houston by 1. And tipping off at 9 o'clock Eastern, the Clippers hosting the Thunder. Mamu, step back, fake on a 3, gives it up to Wesley. Wesley trying to drive at the far elbow, had the ball deflected, knocked away by Barnes. Scotty picks it up, sprinting down the floor, tried to lob a pass to Barrett. His pass deflected by the Spurs, but the Raptors get hands on the ball and keep the possession alive. They actually reset the shot clock. I'm shocked by that. I didn't think the Spurs had possession. Doesn't matter as Barnes elevates for the jumper near side and knocks it down on about a 15-footer. Raptors down 103-69. Biombo hands it off to McLaughlin. McLaughlin, far corner. The pass goes in, and the Spurs turn it over. Down the floor, skipping through traffic, dancing to the lane, laying it in is Jamal Shed. He gets fouled, and he will go to the line for the and one. Branham turned it over, Jonesy, in the far corner, and the Raptors jumped on that thing and got down the floor in a hurry.
Good job by Jamal Shed. Doing a nice job maintaining his balance, playing through the contact.
Free throw is good. 103-72. McLaughlin hounded in the backcourt by Barnes, but he quickly sprints across center toward the far sideline. Now weaves around a Biombo screen, stops in the lane, bounces the pass back out to Branham, who gets into the lane, floats one up, missed the shot, down low, tipped by Biombo, and picked up down low by Mamu, who missed the floater. Rebound comes into the hands of Barnes. Scotty trying to pass ahead, and he gets crunched in the backcourt, and it'll be a foul coming in against the Spurs.
They got Wesley on the foul. He pretty vociferous in his protest.
Jonesy, moments ago with Scotty Barnes rebounding and securing it. That's his 7th of the game. He has recorded 2,000 career rebounds. He is the fastest player in franchise history to record 2,000 plus rebounds and 1,000 plus assists. He's done it in 267 games. He's the only player from the 2021 draft class to reach 4,500 points and 2,000 rebounds.
Says something. I tell you what, though. Scotty, turn it all back if he could be playing deep into the playoffs.
Yep. Mamu gets the bucket for the Spurs. And San Antonio leading by 31. It's 105-74 with 8 minutes to go in the ball game. Shed has it on the perimeter at the logo towards center. Barrett driving to the 10 on the near side. The left-hand scoop good for RJ. He's had a tough night, Jonesy, but he's continued to battle, and he's up to 16 points.
He will. That's RJ. There's not there's not any quit in him.
And with 7:39 to go, Castleton picks up a foul on the other end, and it's going to send Bismack Biyombo to the free throw line.
Biz doing what he does. Hard screen, good screen, hard roll.
Biyombo at the stripe. Knocks down the first one. He was such a key part, Jonesy, of that Raptor squad.
2016, that run to the conference finals. Not just with his play, Eric, but with his mental approach and his attitude.
Leadership.
Yeah, his leadership, saying, hey, LeBron's a great player, but we're not afraid of him. We respect him. We respect what he's done, but we're not here trying to be part of his highlight tape. And that's the attitude you've got to have.
Biyombo at the stripe. Took care of business, put the lead back to 107-76 for the Spurs, and the ball down low for the Raptors, picked up by RJ Barrett. Couple of head and shoulder fakes, then he goes up and under the 10 to lay it in. Up to 18 points for RJ, 8 of 16 from the floor. He's got 7 rebounds as well. Solid evening. Mamu up fake, driving into the paint. Right hand scoop is good. Barrett tried to take the charge, but the bucket is clean.
It's a foul by Blake Wesley. Darko saying the same thing. 2 hands on Shed as he was coming up the sideline.
Shed on the wing near side. Mobile comes over to set a screen. Shed now toward the sideline, had the ball knocked away by Wesley. Raptors will get it and have to toss it in with 8 on the shot clock. Barrett, 3-ball, straight away. Back rim, no good. Castleton tried to get to it, couldn't. It's cleaned up by McLaughlin. Down the floor he comes. Waiting for his troops, he goes back up top to the trailer. Wesley, 3-ball, no good. Down low, Biyombo got hands on it. It goes off San Antonio, though. They couldn't squeeze, out of bounds. It'll be Toronto ball with 6:27 to play. Raptors down 109-78 as we approach the midway point of the final frame on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, Raptor fans, what would you rather have? More money or more vacation? Whichever you pick, it's a win-win. Just like hitting the 50-50 jackpot. When you buy tickets to the MLSE Foundation Lottery, you support kids and youth in communities across Ontario. Last season, over $1 million in jackpot prizes were won. That means more money and more vacation. Talk about a true win-win? Visit 5050raps.com for your tickets today.
At McDonald's, there are new breakfast sandwiches with a secret ingredient.
A secret ingredient?
It's a little sweet, born in the cold, cradled by spring.
Gotcha. It's maple.
Well, yes, but let me finish. It's made
with 100% Canadian maple syrup?
Right again. It's a brand new smoky maple sauce featured in...
Oh, some new McD's breakfast sandwiches.
And you can try it
before 11 a.m. only.
Wow, you're good at this.
I know what I like. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
When you get a Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and class-leading safety included, it's like you also get a Subaru that comes with your very own golf club holder, stadium parking navigator, a basketball team transporter, a remote cottage finder, a beaver spotter, a coach hauler, bear country guide, a family road trip carrier, a muddy road controller, extreme wind stabilizer, plus a... And we're out of time. Subaru is the multi-tool that masters every unpredictable weather condition. Visit your local Subaru dealer for great lease and finance options.
This is Toronto Raptors basketball on Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
Welcome back. Eric Smith, Paul Jones with you. Fourth quarter. Raptors down 109-78 on the front night of the back-to-back, playing in Washington tomorrow night against the Wizards. As the Raptors will try to bounce back in D.C. I don't see it happening tonight, Jonesy, with just 6:27 to go. The beard is safe.
At this rate, it was safe about the middle of the second quarter. San Antonio really, really put it on Toronto early and just never let them get off the map.
And if that doesn't fire you up, I'm sure a little share will. I'm saying that tongue-in-cheek. What are we doing playing share? Oh, boy. I tell you, it's been a while since I've said this. I want the board for one night.
Me too.
Give me it for one night.
Just put it between us here. Put it between us here, and we'll hit the buttons like when there's a timeout or when the other team needs to call a timeout.
At least I haven't heard Barbara Streisand for a while, and I don't mean the artist, I mean that song.
There's two that really catch me in terms of game ops doing a job on their timing as Biombo's jump hook goes down.
How about a left-hand jump hook?
The year we were in Memphis and they had the Grindhouse and they were just putting it on Toronto.
I remember this. Yeah.
And Toronto called a timeout, and it was about a half a nanosecond after the whistle. The Gap Band, You Dropped the Bomb on Me, was playing. The guys
cranked.
It was, and people were up dancing, and the players hadn't even walked to the timeout yet. They hadn't even got to the sideline yet. And then there was the 1 year in Washington during the playoffs. Unfortunately, the year the Raptors were swept. As Wesley turns it over, that Washington was giving it to Toronto. Timeout was called, and again, before the Raptors could even get to their bench, they had James Brown going, "Get up, get on up, get up," and the crowd in D.C. was right into it. I looked around, people were dancing, they were celebrating, they were having a real good time at the game. We just want the board between us for
4:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Raptors down 111-80 as Ochai Agbaji picks up a foul and Branham goes to the free throw line.
JR asked me what song I was playing. That You Dropped the Bomb on Me, and it was appropriate because in the barrage, the play that forced the timeout to be called was a long three.
Yeah.
And then the Raptors called, and guys were in the middle of the floor. That might be the first one.
That would be a good one.
Might be the first one for me, JR. There are, you know who's got great ops in their timing too is Cleveland.
Yeah, they are outstanding. Detroit, when they're playing well, the Pistons certainly do a solid job with their guy Mason as well.
Yeah.
Raptors just turned it over again, Jonesy. 22 turnovers in the ballgame as Jacoby Walter mishandled it toward the near sideline. Branham weaving through traffic, scoops it up and in, plus the foul. 3-point opportunity coming as San Antonio has again opened up a 35-point lead. It was as high as 30 night. It's just been that kind of night for the Spurs, or, depending how you look at it, that kind of night for the Raptors. I'll tell you what, to go back to this music thing for a second, and this isn't meant as a criticism by any means, excuse me. That's one thing that maybe the Raptors haven't done in their 30 years is establish some sort of a traditional type song or moment. The fan base has been great. The game ops are generally great. It's a fantastic experience at Scotiabank Arena or out in Jurassic Park, especially in the playoffs and whatnot. But when I think of all the examples you just gave, how about, in Boston with the Red Sox or whatever, and you're singing Sweet Caroline, or it's become a fairly recent tradition in Buffalo with the Bills singing Mr. Brightside, and you've got the players on the sideline singing along and the whole stadium singing. It's outstanding. It's just such a vibe, and if you could create something like that in Toronto, and it can't be forced, it's got to become somewhat organic, but how do you do it?
Well,
the repetition of trying to create moments like that.
Think back to the 80s, Eric, when you were hooked on the Showtime Lakers, and they had We Love L.A., right?
Yes. Orlando Robinson with a triple straight away. That came off a miss on the other end from Branham on a three-pointer, so the Raptors take advantage. Still down big, though. It's a 30-point lead for San Antonio. 115-85 with 3:25 to go. Mamu fouled down on the right block, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
Well, for people that are wondering about the lead being up to 38 at one point, we had a loss of biblical proportions back in December in Boston. 54 points, set the all-time record.
Mamukelashvili sends to the free throw line. First one up and clean for Mamu. Sandro Mamukelashvili, who's had some big ball games this season, and especially of late, his career high 30-plus just came a couple of days ago. As he fires on the second free throw, lefty release. He thought it was going to be short. He was immediately charging to the tin, but it actually went down. 3:20 to go. Raptors trailing 117-85. Jacoby Walter, cross-court, left-right, over to Jamison. Battle wide open, three ball, no good, hit the front of the rim. Rebound tracked down by Biz, and he is fouled, and we're walking the length of the floor. Nope, I checked that. They are not going to call a foul. They're just going to simply call a San Antonio timeout. I thought Raptors got hands in there as Biyombo secured his 9th rebound to go along with 8 points, and the Spurs will take the timeout with 3:11 to play. We are going to keep it here. I'll let you know on some other scores around the association and in college basketball. Alabama with a 12, check that, 15 now point lead over St. Mary's with 2:07 to go in that ball game. So that looks like it's going to be done for St. Mary's as the number 7 seed is likely to fall in the first half. And now it's actually at the half. Maryland leads Colorado State. No, they don't. Check that. My eyes are deceiving me. I'm looking at the wrong angle. Colorado State, the number 12 seed, with a 7-point lead at the half over number 4 Maryland, 37-30. So obviously an entire half to go in that one, but we could be seeing an upset in the making there. Earlier on today, we told you about Florida beating UConn 77-75. Duke takes care of Baylor in a blowout, 89-86. Kentucky beats Illinois, 84-75. At 8:20 tonight, number 6 Ole Miss against number 3 Iowa State. 9:40 Oregon, number 5 against Arizona, number 4. And actually I skipped over the 8:40 game, which tips off in about 25 minutes. Number 10 New Mexico against number 2 Michigan State.
If I'm not mistaken, Eric, and I've looked at the bracket, I think there's a chance that Michigan could end up playing Michigan State if they both advance in their brackets. That would be something to see.
The winner of New Mexico, Michigan State faces the winner of Ole Miss, Iowa State. Michigan would have to beat Auburn in the number 5 versus number 1 matchup in order to set up that possibility that you're speaking of, Michigan versus Michigan State.
I tell you what, Auburn's advanced to the Sweet 16, but they lost 3 of their last 4. They haven't looked really sharp in the tournament. They do have some time to prepare now, though.
120-85, San Antonio leading. They got a 3-ball from Mamu moments ago. And now Toronto will get to the free throw line. Foul's going to come in against Wesley, and it's going to send Jacoby Walter to the free throw line. Walter was trying to come along the baseline far side, and Wesley picks up the foul. He didn't like the call. That's going to be his 3rd of the ball game as Jacoby Walter heads to the stripe for the first time tonight. The Raptors' second unit being outscored tonight 60-24 as Walter knocks down the first free throw.
Well, I know it's late in the season, but this is one where you look and you have to turn the page.
Have to do so in a hurry, no doubt about that. With Washington hosting Toronto tomorrow in D.C. Biombo puts it out on the perimeter. They work it around to Mamu, driving far side. He's gobbled up, but he gets the ball right back. Shovel pass in the lane to Biombo. Is deflected, taken away by the Raptors, and Toronto forces the turnover, the 13th of the game for the Spurs. Check that, 14th. They've given up 13 points off turnovers. Raptors have coughed up 30 off 22 turnovers. We have ticked towards under 2 minutes to go now in this ball game. 120-87 is the score. 33-point lead. Turning in the lane, Orlando Robinson misses badly, and the rebound is tracked down by San Antonio. Then that kind of night for Robinson and the Raptors. Biombo has it, goes into the far corner to Mamu. Lefty release on a 3, hit the side of the rim, no good. Tracked down by Jonathan Mobo, who brings it across center himself. Mobo weaving through traffic, left-hand scoop, no good. A little rear contest from Biombo, but Mobo missed the shot nevertheless. Branham to Wesley, bunny hop in the lane. Over the shoulder pass to Mamu in the near corner, missed on a lefty 3-ball, and Mobo with the rebound. 1:15 to go. It's Walter, far sideline to Abaji, cutting to the tin, far side, left-hand scoop off, glass is good.
Well, some of the guys that haven't had a lot of time getting it now, but they've really got to look at this and see if they can come up with something for tomorrow. Good job there. Mamukelashvili coming down the lane for a dunk, and Ochai wasn't having any of it. Not that he made a clean block, but he attempted a block, took a hard foul, and said, enough here.
So Mamukelashvili heads to the free throw line. Where's that black 54 on the white San Antonio Spurs jersey? Dips on the free throw, and it plays Plinko and pops out. His first miss of the game at the stripe. He's got 12 points in only 16 minutes, adding 5 rebounds as well. 57.9 seconds to play. Second free throw goes in. 13 points for Mamu. Raptors down 121-89 with now 51 seconds to go in the ballgame. Jonathan Mobo has tied a career high with 10 rebounds in this game as Jamison Battle just missed on a 3-ball. And San Antonio gets the ball with 47 seconds to go. McLaughlin out towards center. Now out on the far wing. Had the ball knocked away. Walter and Robinson both pressuring. And no, they're going to call a foul. Excuse me.
Robinson hit him. McLaughlin took 2 dribbles and realized he'd been hit and then stopped and looked at the ref.
So a couple of free throws for McLaughlin with 37.2 seconds to go. Jordan McLaughlin knocks down the first one. 122-89 is the score. And the second free throw good as well. Good chunk of the arena, Jonesy, understandably, has vacated early. It's been a rough night at the office. Tough one on a Sunday night. As Jacoby Walter brings the ball down along the baseline, turns into the painted area, and fires on a jump shot from below the free throw line. Misses on about a 10-12 footer. 17 seconds to go. Spurs will bring it across center court, and they will just dribble out the clock. And the Raptors are going to fall to 24-47 as they lose this ball game. 123-89, the final. And as much as this one stings for the Raptors, Jonesy, it's a big win for San Antonio. If we go back to what I told you at the beginning of the evening, the Spurs entered action tonight as the 13 seed in the West, but only 3 games out of the 10 spot and the play-in. So they are certainly trying to stay in it with Portland, Dallas, and Phoenix ahead of them. And a win will certainly help them in terms of that pursuit of the 10 spot, if not higher.
Yeah, and again, Eric, that's the age-old question. Do you want that spot right now with the way people have projected this draft to be? Do you want the spot, or would you rather have the draft pick?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, nope, they have one less win still, so I will hold that back. They will now be a half game behind still because the Spurs do have a game in hand and have one more in the win column, or excuse me, the Blazers. San Antonio just got the win, but the Portland Trail Blazers lost. They will still stay, though, as the 12th seed, but San Antonio knocking on the door. They are even in the loss column, but Portland does have one more win. All right, we're going to step aside for the break. One last time, we will come back with final stats, get set to wrap it up, and hand off to post-game coverage as Toronto loses 123-89 on Toronto Raptors basketball, brought to you by Tangerine Bank on the Sportsnet Radio Network, streaming on the Sportsnet app and at sportsnet.ca.
4 or 5 p.m., Chicago White Sox face the Arizona Diamondbacks on Internet 846. 4 or 5 p.m., Chicago Cubs face the A's. Cubs on SiriusXM channels 89, Internet 845. A's on Internet 841. 4:10 p.m., Arizona Diamondbacks face the San Diego Padres. Diamondbacks on Internet 840. Padres on Internet 862. 10 p.m., Milwaukee Brewers take on the Colorado Rockies on Internet 856. 4:10 p.m., Seattle Mariners take on the Milwaukee Brewers on Internet 864. 8:10 p.m., LA Dodgers face the LA Angels with the Dodgers on SiriusXM channels 89, Internet 854. Angels on Internet 853.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information for the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
I'm Mick Kern with It Happened in Baseball. Most ball players are just happy that a major league team called out their name at the yearly June amateur draft. To go first overall in the annual exercise is not only an honor, but it also comes with heavy expectations. Recent top picks such as Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg, and David Price have all become household names. But which former number one choices have met with the most success? As of the 2015 season, former Chicago White Sox slugger Harold Baines tops the list of most major league games played by a former first overall pick. He put on the cleats for 2,830 regular season games for 5 major league teams. Baines is followed by superstar Ken Griffey Jr., who got into 2,671 games, mostly for the Seattle Mariners. Jr., who also played with the Reds and White Sox, hit 630 career home runs and was the 1997 American League MVP. Only Alex Rodriguez has hit more home runs from a first overall pick position. A-Rod has also played the third most number of games for a top draft pick. Fourth on the list with 2,499 games played is former Atlanta Braves stalwart Chipper Jones. He also hit the third most round trippers for a top pick, launching 468 balls out of the park. The Milwaukee Brewers used the top pick in the 1985 Jay Surhoff. He played 19 seasons and 2,313 games in the Bigs, spending time with the Brewers, Orioles, and Braves.
March Madness is here. The craziness is here. Don't forget, hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat, hanging out with us, cheering on your favorite team.
Clayton steals it and lays it in. Clayton a good look. Hit 6.
Check out our new website, www.torontosportsinsider.com, and check out the link that is in the description as well as in the chat that shows where all of the live viewers are watching from. you an insider yet? Have you hit that subscribe button? I bet you have now. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for checking out our Bracket Mania campaign. A lot more coming up soon.
Comer. He drops the end zone. They cut to the rim. Slam down. The steal at the line. Fielder up high and down hard. And slamming it in his field. It's a spin. Comer looking. Winding up and slapping it down. They're going to compete. Just haven't been able to do so. Bernard Thompson with a three.
This is what a great scene this is.
Stunning, absolutely stunning.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thanks for chatting it up and enjoying this March Madness live hangout with us.
On XM380 Internet 970. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM sports schedule for Sunday, March the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In MLS, 4 p.m., Austin FC takes on San Diego FC on SiriusXM and Internet channels 157. In Major League Baseball spring training action, 4 or 5 p.m., Chicago White Sox face the Arizona Diamondbacks on Internet 846. 4 or 5 p.m., Chicago Cubs face the A's. Cubs on SiriusXM channels 89, Internet 845. A's on Internet 841. 4:10 p.m., Arizona Diamondbacks face the San Diego Padres. Diamondbacks on Internet 840. Padres on Internet 862. 10 p.m., Milwaukee Brewers take on the Colorado Rockies on Internet 856. 4:10 p.m., Seattle Mariners take on the Milwaukee Brewers on Internet 864. 8:10 p.m., LA Dodgers face the LA Angels with the Dodgers on SiriusXM channels 89, Internet 854. Angels on Internet 853.
Mad Dog Sports Radio has the best sports talk in the business, covering sports with a passion and knowledge you need. Mad Dog Sports Radio, SiriusXM 86, and the SXM app.
I'm Ryan Payton for SiriusXM Sports. For fans of the Maple Leafs who are old enough, February 7th, 1976 was one of the most unforgettable nights of their lives. The Leafs won 11-4 over Boston, but that was not the amazing part. No, what was amazing was that the rout was done almost single-handedly by one man. The man's name, Daryl Sittler. He scored 6 times, added 4 assists for 10 points, which in a single game broke the record of 8 set by Maurice Richard of the Canadiens back in 1944, and it still stands as the all-time record today. Now, just how amazing was it to record 10 points in a game? Well, no one else in the history of the league before or after his performance has even scored 9 points in a game. He also became only the 8th player in NHL history to record 6 goals in one single game. He was the first guy to do that since Red Berenson in 1968, and is another that no one has done since.